Good morning, my dear.
Hello.
Hi. How are you? I'm a little sleepy.
I
My
can
son,
just imagine.
well, I'm mostly sleepy because my son wanted me to stay up and watch. Oh, here's Dawn. My son wanted me to stay up and watch Sherlock with him. We discovered Sherlock on Netflix this last week,
Oh,
and he just is really.
I love that. Yes, I love Sherlock. I binge watched it.
Did you? Okay. Yeah. So like his bedtime, he should be asleep by 9:30 or 10, but we didn't start watching it till after 10:30 last night because he's like, Mom, you promised, you promised, you promised. So it was really late when my brain finally calmed down and I went to sleep.
What were you did not have school not school today?
They're homeschooled.
Okay.
I mean, like they're not in the district at all right now.
Oh, okay. Okay.
They have the flexibility to do stupid things and not have the ramifications in the morning right now.
Yeah, you'll have on your own schedule.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, Dawn, I was just saying that I'm tired because my son and I are into Sherlock on Netflix now, which is really good. And Kat was just saying she binge watched the whole thing. And I had promised him the night before that we could watch it last night. But then the night got away and we didn't do it till sometime between 10:30 and 11. And he should have been sleeping by 10. And then my brain was just all like bzz, bzz, from like having TV on super late. Mm-hmm. I was reading my Kindle. That didn't help because if I read my Kindle, and I don't use my glasses. I don't use my glasses and I read my Kindle late at night because it makes me get really tired, and that didn't work.
Oh no. I've been doing sleep meditation.
You should have called me for a restful sleep session, Paris.
Really, I'm going to utilize that because sleep is the bane of my existence in general. It is the biggest thing I battle.
Oh, it is? You battle that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, we can work on that.
Yay, I'm glad. I know, Dawn, it's
hi, Dawn. I'm Kathy.
Hi, Kathy.
We haven't met.
Me too. I'm glad we get to meet today.
Good.
Yes, same here.
This will be a good day for you guys to get to know each other.
Mm-hmm. Like we always have someone new each time. The past couple of weeks has been great.
I know, right? We got to meet Regina. Now finally Kat. Kat did community spotlight with us yesterday. I don't know if you saw the video I posted in our group, but you can check that out later.
Oh, I haven't seen it yet, but I know that she did it. So yes, thank you for that.
Yeah, neat stuff. So talk amongst yourselves. That's not awkward.
We're good. We'll just dive right in. So Kat, where are you? Like, where are you located?
I am presently in Jamaica, Queens.
Ah, okay.
Yes, I've been there for the past 2 years. Well, going on to 2 years fully now. So freshly migrated from my home country, island, from the Caribbean.
Wow.
It's Dominica, not the Dominican Republic.
Right, different.
West of Barbados.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah. Smack center of the island chain. So every year we are worried about hurricanes because that's right over us.
Yeah, and this year has been.
So that's a little. Sorry, say that again.
Oh, so this last hurricane season was awful.
Yes, it was quite a bit. So I moved from nice warm weather to this cold, wearing jackets in the house kind of thingy.
Oh.
But it's okay. It's good. I adapt pretty quickly.
That's good.
So,
yeah, Kat had a.
I'm not new to the cold. I did. Sorry, Paris, go ahead.
I was telling Dawn that you had a spa healing center there that was unfortunately really impacted by the hurricanes. You were telling us about that. you're
Yeah.
building the, I forget that, what was that one called? It was,
Getaway holistic space.
yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Hi, Aaron. He's hanging out back there. Come on in. The water's fine.
Hey, good morning, Aaron. He'll be here shortly. His signal, when Aaron logs on, it's always a kind of navigating his signal. He doesn't, where he lives, unless I don't know if Aaron's moved near the water yet. He's in California. He has been living like off the grid, like off the grid in this
Oh.
beautiful nature
Oh, okay.
area. So we'll see what his signal's doing today.
Do I have
So he
audio
has-
clear?
We can
Yes, you do.
Okay, I'll try video in just a second. Good morning, Dawn. Good morning, Kat. Good morning, Alice.
Good
Good
morning.
morning, Aaron. Nice to meet you. Well, your voice so far.
I always tell Aaron when he's doing this without his video, it's like God coming in and talking.
or it could be the devil.
Or it could be the devil, right? It kind of depends. Intonation.
It reminds me of the movie. Okay, and I'm going to go off the rails a little bit here. So pardon me. There's a movie called it's Weird Science, but it was something similar. It had Val Kilmer in it, and he was a scientist, like doing experiments with different stuff, and it was a comedy. And he had this kid that was his arch nemesis, and so he would. Oh, okay. So he took this little device and put it in the braces of the other college kid that is his like arch nemesis. And it was like a speaker. And so the Val Kilmer's character starts talking into this speaker, and the kid had fallen asleep at the computer. He wakes up and he says to the guy, like, say the guy's name is Mark. He's like, Mark, this is God. And the kid's like, oh my God. And like, you hear the voice of God, and he's like, oh. And he's like, this is what I want you to do. And it was, whatever. And then he goes, you got that all? And the kid's like, uh-huh. And then he's like, and also, Mark, stop playing with yourself.
I remember that. I hadn't seen that in so long. That's right. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Little off other humor
funny.
there to start your Friday, because that's me.
Oh, so
Cool.
so you guys are aware that all three of you, we're all in our facilitator group together.
Mhm.
So all of us are doing the things together. So this is great to just connect and meet today. Aaron just said he's by a waterfall. Have you?
Yeah.
Show us the waterfall. That's what I'm all about.
He doesn't have video yet.
Well, he probably doesn't want to do both because bandwidth, but also he'd probably
Yeah.
with both the audio and the visual.
Aaron, that doesn't look like California. That looks like Hawaii or something. Super tropical. Oh, is that your new house with your friends? He's just moving. You got to unmute though. Yep.
Yes, that's the noise you hear in the background. If you hear it, that's the koi pond. Yes, I have landed about a mile from the beach, and I'm all charged up. I have a good environment to really be able to pour into the CLN and the things that we have on the back burner. My favorite, I think you posted about it, Dawn. Maybe you too, Kat. The summit,
Yes.
the CLN seasonal summit.
Mhm.
I guess that's in the planning stages right now. But Dawn, you've met me, Kat. I've never met you.
Oh.
I'd rather everyone else say what they think about me before I explain myself. You can see on my profile, I'm kind of an enigma, a paradox resolved. in the most simplest fashion. But I like to do stuff. I like to enjoy the people I'm working with. I call it play. But yeah, I'm also a facilitator, help Hollis with the CLN Creators course, worked with Jeremy on Empower the Imagination, and currently doing Introduction to Breath work with Alex TD. So
Nice.
I'm kind of all over the place. I like to, here in the CLN, I like to call myself the oil of the machine because there's a little bit of me everywhere. And my main focus is to keep things running smoothly, keep things from breaking down, and just keep things flowing. So I would love to hear about you a little bit, Kat.
Okay, where do I start? Well, for one, you can hear a little bit more of me I was on Community Spotlight yesterday. So you can take a look at that. It's posted in the, where is it posted in Palace? Where is posted there? In the
Which
team,
thing? Which thing?
the Community Spotlight from yesterday.
Oh yeah, so I
It's
posted it
posted.
in the main activity feed, and it's connected to community spotlight topic. But then I also dropped it in our facilitator group also, so that you guys.
Okay, so you can hear a little bit about me there. But what I do basically is mindfulness, life, and transformation coaching. And I am tending to focus more on, though I do adults and get adults, but I have a little offshoot there where working with the young people. So I am developing that aspect of it. And I love your waterfall because then if you love waterfalls and you're such a minimalist, you should visit Dominica. I'm going to go against our rules, Palace, and I'm going to advertise Dominica. I'm not advertising myself, I'm advertising Dominica. Is that okay?
Absolutely, yes, please. Oh, I know. We should have our facilitator retreat in Dominica with you.
Okay. Definitely, I know the perfect spot for us to go to. So that's where I'm from, and so you might be wondering about my accent. My accent is a little bit of mix because I lived in Dominica. I studied in the US. I lived in Dominica and I lived in St. Lucia as well. And now I'm back in the US. I've been back and forth from St. Lucia for a couple of years between Dominica and St. Lucia, and I'm back in the US. So I have developed my own kind of accent. So,
I love it. They say I had a bit of an accent too. It's a Southern California thing, but I'm here for the CLN. I'm here for you. I love developing things and getting them from the idea phase to the in the real world phase. So anytime you need help with anything, drop me a text, follow, tag me in your posts, and I'm here to get stuff done and make the process fun.
Lovely. Thank you so much. I greatly appreciate it. I'm
so glad. What is this? Which is this? Is the conscious health or the collective roundtable? Okay, awesome. All right.
Okay, sounds great.
Yes, I don't know. I just want to get my hands dirty and jump right into everybody's project. So the ideas, like I said, my main one I want to push for, at least get the planning process going, is the summit we were talking about possibly doing. And my main process is, let's jump in and get dirty and see how many mistakes we can make on the trial and refine it until it's, presentable, if you will. So,
yes.
And what else, Palace? What do you have going on?
Getting all of you guys up and running right now.
Okay, and what about you, Dawn? Do you have any projects that I could make a big mess out of?
Well, let's see. I am putting together an animal communication course that I'm going to house within my tribe. So that's what I'm putting a lot of my focus into right now, is building my tribe, like creating it before I can invite people in. So Palace and I are going to meet about that later today. Those are the two of the projects that I'm working on within the CLN, and then I'm, going to go from there. So that's kind of what I'm working on there. Yeah.
Paul knows. I don't know if Kat knows. I don't know if you know, but I have access to a pretty extensive library of content
Yeah, you do.
Oh,
that
you
I
do? That sounds
that I
awesome.
have rights to, that I have resale rights to. You could, in the CLN Creators course, the marketing extras, those are all resale. But Dawn, when you're talking about animal communication, I talk to the dogs here. I talk to the fish. We have turtles. I talk to nature. But I have a cat language product already pre-built, pre-developed. I have resale rights to talk to your cat. So if you want me to, like I said, make a mess or contribute to the talking to animals, I do have some resources available. And Kat, I want you to know, whatever topic, I can usually find one or two things that are ready to go and put here on the CLN with the agreement that Paulus and I have as far as facilitators and everything.
Yeah, you literally have like thousands of resources. It's kind of like the Library of Alexandria for amazing resources to share out.
It's a library.
Yeah.
So you know what, Erin, I wonder, so actually something I have going on, I mean, I have a lot of things going on, but the main thing I have that I'm super excited about is Dawn and I and Corinda. You're familiar with Corinda. We've probably seen her name at least, right, from the Netherlands. The three of us.
Yes, I've met with her one-on-one, yes.
Okay. Yeah, the three of us are building it's really a program. It's going to be a summit, but it's really more than it's more a program called It's All About Heart Connection. And we're looking at creating a community. Well, it's going to be like this living thing out here where, Dawn, can you talk about it? My brain is not like on trajectory right now.
So we're going to basically create the concept of like a virtual village. So in my brain, like I'm thinking about it like an Olympic village, but it's going to be online where we're going to have different areas for people to do things. Like we're going to have a yoga hut, and that'll be a section, in our community, a virtual community where we do things like yoga and meditation. We'll have another place like a fireplace that'll be inside our living room. And we also will have a bonfire outside, and that will be a place for people to gather and tell stories and just share with each other, things like that. So we have different areas within our village, and then we're going to be hosting different types of events and workshops that will be housed within these areas of the village. Is that a good succinct description?
That sounds
Yeah.
like a great idea.
It does.
I'm visualizing it. I'm a visual spatial person, so I totally
Me
get it.
too. Yeah.
Nisha.
Yeah, it's cool. I mean, all of this started out like just as a basic concept before Christmas, where it was about this. I had attended this ecstatic dance. When it's not COVID. There's this ecstatic dance community that I love attending here in the Denver area. And one of the events, so before we start our dance, there's several hundred people that attend, and they have like a community connection kind of thing. And what they did is they had everybody line up in a big circle around the room on one level. And then they had a second level of people line up on the inner circle. And what we did was this gazing exercise where it was probably like 5 different people. So for 1 minute, we would stand in front of one person and we would just gaze into one another's eyes. There was no speaking, no anything. And then we would move to the next person and just this connection to see just this connection. And some people were able to gaze and look. A lot of people's eyes would just drop because it's super intimate to be able to do that kind of connection. And so the concept started out with the idea of how do we create real connection in such a virtual world right now, but also facilitating the opportunity to meet people in all these places, but in a safe way. And so ultimately, like the underlying kind of energy with this is facilitating connection between people, like real, genuine, heart-centered connection in a trauma-informed way, I guess, in some ways, like even acknowledging the fact that when people come into the room for the first time, and we might be talking about like, we all want to have this heart connection. Well, maybe not everybody's coming in with an open heart at that time. And that's a difficult thing for somebody to come into. Maybe they're having a bad day. Maybe they're just super closed off. So it's like, how do we navigate through this process and help and facilitate this education, this awareness of self, connection with one another over time? And so there's a lot of aspects. And so once we get all of it planned out, then we're going to start inviting people to come in and help, like, to do different things in this process, in this community, in this whole structure where, and this is like pie in the sky a million years from now. But we said, once we have all of this up and running in our virtual village, and we have this community that someday we'll want to land it in real life and create a replica village in real life, so that what we've been doing online, we can do face to face and have that yoga hut and have that fireplace in the living room and the this and the that. And so we have all these really fun ideas behind this. And Corinda's an artist, and so she's creating all sorts of art and videos to be promoting this and integrating with what we're doing. So it's neat. Neato.
Yeah. Sounds great.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't
Like
know how you
this.
do it. What are you on? Oh my goodness, so many different projects.
Well, not everything happens all at once. It's more like
Yeah,
a
that's true.
marathon
It's just part of time.
rather than a sprint. But
A sprint, right?
work-life balance is something that I struggle with right now, being at home and having my office right by the front door where I walk in and out to take the dogs for a walk and whatever. So I'm in here a lot. Yeah. Welcome, Miss Nisha.
Hi, Nisha.
Hello, how are you all? Sorry, we are doing
Hi,
school right now. We're
Nisha.
trying to get our morning lessons done and get through it so we can get on with our day.
Multitasking.
Yeah, going crazy. So how is everybody today?
It's Friday.
Great.
Right? Doesn't get
It's
any better than
Friday.
that.
This is how I am. I have moving boxes everywhere.
Nice. When do you actually leave?
A week from today. Like first thing in the morning.
Where are you moving to? May I ask?
Right now I'm in
Where are you
Seattle,
moving to?
and I'm moving to Dayton, Ohio.
Ah,
So not too far, a little bit, not too far.
It'll be quite a culture shift though from Savannah.
Well, the thing is, I never got into the culture here in Savannah because when I got here, we were on lockdown. So I literally have been out, I think like 5 times the whole time I've been here this whole year. So
Oh.
it's not going to be so bad. And I'm more used to the Northeast and people like that up there. So Midwestern people, I think, are going to be probably no worse than the Northeastern people that I grew up with. Yeah, cornfields and farms and, all that. Yeah.
Yep. I've lived East Coast, West Coast, Midwest, Texas, and my people are definitely West Coast. Like having been in Seattle for Washington State for 17 years, that is where my culture lands in the US. Definitely. I was born on the East Coast. I was born in Philly, but the mentality, how people function, I'm a West Coast person.
Me too. I'll get out there one day. Maybe that's my next stop.
Yeah, my sister, actually, I'm taking my kids and I are driving out to Washington State. We're going to leave probably midweek, the second week of what's next month, April, and we're going to drive out to Seattle, and then I'll go home for the first time in years. It's still how I look at it. And we're going to rent a house in the San Juan Islands, on Lopez Island for 3 days and 4 nights. And I don't know. I don't know that the orcas will be out at that time, but we're renting this little house on 8 acres with hiking trails to all these like
nice.
swimming ponds on the islands, and probably bring our bikes unless I decide that, I don't want to spend 3 gallon or 3 tanks of gas just because of towing my bikes and the wind draft on them. But yeah, going back, I can't wait. I haven't been there in so long. And
My sister lives in Seattle.
oh, she does?
My sister lives in Seattle, yes. And I visit Oka Island a couple years ago with her, which was beautiful.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's really, really nice up there. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Nice.
I love it.
Enjoy.
I want to go.
Yeah. Well, Erin, actually, I'm considering. Yes. Well, we can all go. We'll like jump in our bus, and that'd be a fun trip, actually, to do a road trip.
Can't jump in a bus. I can't jump in a bus from New York.
Erin,
I have to get going here pretty soon, you guys. But I do see Nisha on here, and I'm supposed to try and schedule with her and Alex to talk about doing some of the marketing on the breathwork course. But I know that Alex and I meet a regular 11 o'clock Tuesday and Thursday. If that works for you, you can just crash our meeting.
11 o'clock, what time zone?
My time. It's the West Coast.
Hold on. I'm checking my calendar right now. We will settle this. Yes. All right. Who is singing?
I hear it too.
Cute.
Oh, check your schedule later. Just ping me if you can make Tuesday or Thursday at 11, or ping me with a time that you can make a couple times. I'll run it by Alex to make sure we can all three touch base on that. Probably a half hour.
I can do Thursday at 11:30 your time.
Okay, perfect. I'll let Alex know. That way we can have our regular meeting, and you can come in at the last half of it, and we can discuss that part of it. And that would be awesome. And Don and Hollis definitely touch base on the virtual community, and Don definitely touch base on that kitty language thing, because it may be something that I have master rights to, so I could sell you the resale rights to, possibly, if you like the material. But I hate to rush in and rush out. And Kat, I hope that we can touch base on a one-to-one real soon.
Definitely. Yeah.
But I'm on the beach, and I'm new roommates like me. I don't have my Wi-Fi in room yet. So being not here in the public space doesn't like me doing the meetings. So
You cut out,
will
Erin.
catch you guys soon.
Okay. Thanks for coming in today.
Thank you, Erin. It was good to see you.
Nice meeting you.
Cool.
I said the roommates in the public space.
Nice.
Okay. Erin's gonna hang out and listen. Cool. All righty. What was I saying? I don't remember what I was saying.
Well, you were talking about going to San Juan Islands.
Oh yeah. So I'm just excited to go. Like, it's affordable to do this house rental thing because it's COVID and not everybody's renting. Like, people are scared to do things, but so it'll be good. We can afford it. My sister's a single mom and 2 kids, so for us to be able to do something like a single mom to be able to do something like this, it's exciting. I can't wait. We'll be able to let our kids run amok the way that I grew up, out in nature, doing the things that they want to do, where they're like outside all day, come in to eat, and then we'll kick them out again and they come back for dinner unless we're at the beach. Unlike
Yeah.
living in an urban or suburban area. Because because I grew up in the country. I grew up on
Mhm.
80 acres, and that was just my
Oh,
life
wow.
with my horses and the land and watching out for snakes in the
Oh,
summer
nice.
in Oklahoma.
That sounds awesome.
Snakes, but yeah.
80 acres.
Yeah, minus the snakes.
That
Hey, Kat,
sounds great.
can you share a little bit kind of what you're thinking? So Dawn is one of our folks who's wanting to, so talking about the CLN Junior, Dawn's wanting to bring that animal communication for kids over there and other things too. Kat is a teacher. Kat, like, can you talk maybe a little bit about your ideas for kids, like what it is you're thinking?
My ideas for kids, a TV show, a round table, something like this. Um, a news reporting station
But the kids,
area for not necessarily something like your village, but something or not necessarily organized like the village, but something like a virtual space where they can come and do activities and do stuff as well, where they can connect. Maybe a big brother, big sister kind of mentoring thing as well, a peer to peer mentoring part of it, and a place where they can connect with educational institutions and other career focus or skilled focus individuals that can give them some areas of guidance, or they can move forward in their life. You know, we have a lot of children who don't like school and feel pressured in going to school. I have a 16-year-old daughter in 11th grade. She's hated school ever since I know her, which means as soon as she came out from the womb, she hated school. Still cries up to the day, I don't want to go to school, but she's an A student because she doesn't like school but doesn't want to fail out. But my point in saying all of this is giving children the other opportunity to see that they're doing education for themselves and they're not doing it for a system. Giving them the opportunity to be themselves, to be able to express themselves, because their present living is no, that's their life. So they have to be able to enjoy their lives, even though they're 10 or even if they're 100. Not to wait till they're later or they're out of academia to say, okay, I'm going to start enjoying my life. And then at the end of it, have to start looking for something new because what they went to school for, they do not enjoy it. So flipping that around so that every step of the way learning can be fun and have it as a wellness experience, and bringing in the adult world as a part of supporting them, not as a part of forcing them. I don't know if I explained that properly. You know what I mean? It's their world. You control your destiny. Let them learn how to do it from a young age with our guidance, not with our you do this, you do that, you do that. Let them see how the opportunities are and they choose what the opportunity, how they go forward, their ideas, how we develop that with them, not for them. Determine what they do for them. Just giving them that foundation, that net where we can catch them. Does that make any sense to you? Did I?
beautiful. And actually, Palace, you and I forgot who else we were on Zoom with, had a conversation about that a couple of weeks ago. I think it was a facilitator meeting where we were talking about the concept of the Montessori schools and things like that, where, I'm a big fan of stuff like that, where, it's the whole child development and where they're given guidance, but not put into choose, like they're given choices of things that they want to do and learn, but it's at their pace and they choose what they want to learn. But all of the choices are good ones, for them to make, but they get to choose. And so it seems like a very similar concept in the whole supporting the whole child, and giving them free reign to do what drives them and what they're passionate about, rather than pigeonholing them into a system that is a square peg in a round hole, which our public school system typically is for most kids, but they suffer through it, which is probably what
Definitely.
your daughter is dealing with.
Yeah, that was our roundtable we did about education. all of our
Okay.
Oh my God,
perspectives
that
on
was-
education.
Oh, that was forever ago then, but yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's on YouTube. That was like our a rocking, that was an amazing conversation that we all had. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. So that's all that really come up as us sharing with Nisha and Palace, that a lot of what I do or a lot of my direction is based on my parenting and how I observe what I've done with my girls. And it pains me to see I cannot do anything to help my kids in the type of education system that we have. I totally agree, and because their complaints are valid with regards to the education system. Why do children need to do testing? Why do I have to memorize something just to regurgitate it for you on a paper? Give me something that is applicable and stuff like that. So yeah, if so this is one of the things. I mean, I hear my daughters complain every day. She does her work, but how can we make it fun? How can we make learning fun as well as let them see that it benefits them and what they're doing is applicable, and get them to do, there's some things that they do not see how it is applicable, but still get them to do it without feeling forced to do it, eliminating the level of resistance. So that is a challenge right there. That's the challenge right there.
That's the problem with the structure of our public school system, and others types of education systems, like Montessori, or sometimes like even the Waldorf. It's life skills, and they take the learning concepts and they apply them to real life. And so the students
Right.
see value in it, and they can make that connection. Oh, this has value in my life. But the public
Right.
school system is part of the reason I don't teach anymore in the public school, because I didn't want to be part of the problem. I want to be part of the solution. And
That's right.
they teach in a vacuum, and they teach
Mhm.
the tests nowadays. I hated that in kindergarten. When I was a kindergarten teacher, they made kindergartners do the bubble tests. They were called the SOLs, standards of learning, but we call them the SOLs, the shit out of lucks. Because you get a kindergartner who, first of all, can't read, so you got to read the test to them. Second of all, have them fill in the bubble. They don't have the fine motor skills to do that.
Right.
So you spend most of your time explaining something to them that they didn't understand, and then helping them fix their bubble, but not tell them the answer. Anyway, yes.
I mean, in kindergarten, they're still in like the alpha wave brain state too. Like they're not even at that cognitive level of like brain development.
It's so wrong. Yeah,
Mhm.
so wrong. Yeah, I
They don't say, and it doesn't help when the children's points are not heard. I'm attending we have a new chancellor, education chancellor from this week. I'm attending that meeting this afternoon at 3:30, and it will be interesting to hear, and Dawn, I'm also going up for elections on the city education council, because that is one of my issues. If I have issues at the bottom, better be part of the solution. So get yourself up there,
Make your voice
So
heard.
I'm hoping that I will be elected on one of the councils. And I tend to have a big mouth, but if I'm elected, they can kick me out until after 2 years. So they just have to put up with my big mouth. But but it's for the
Your
it's yeah, it's in the interest of I come from the Caribbean, where our system is based on the British system, pretty much like that's where the American system is based too. And I never liked the testings, the tests and all those kind of things. It's just, it's too much. So I grew up complaining about it. My daughters now come complaining about the same thing. And no, I'm in this system and it's basically the same thing. And they're all much, here we have a lot more issues because of all the culture is so much different. But it's the basic same issues that the children are not heard, the children are not seen. We think we're doing them such a great service. It seems like we're doing them a big favor, when in fact we are not. The children are seeing that they're doing work for us. And so then if they see they're doing work for us, then it really doesn't benefit them. They're really not getting anything out of it. So I may not be able to change the entire system, but I may be able to do a little thing which might push something else and create a domino effect for something. So that's how I look at it.
The ripple effect,
Yeah.
we don't ever understand how far our influence travels. So,
Mhm.
yeah.
Kat, are you doing, so we're in Breathe for Change together, Kat and I and Nisha, that's how we met Kat, the yoga program that we're doing. Are you thinking of bringing that over to the district? Has that been on your radar?
Yes, yes, yes. Because I see one of the, I am using my school as a guinea pig in an observatory lab. I can see the resistance in teachers, just in the little things I'm already doing, the resistance in the teachers of my interaction with the children, because they've been there longer than I have been. Okay. People are naturally averse to change. And when they feel something is going to be ripped, something that is familiar is being ripped off from underneath them, or so they perceive it to be, they are going to push back. So right now I'm just observing and just treading very, very lightly, because you want these people to be your support. You want them to be your, a particular word I'm looking for and I cannot find it, but you want them to buy into it. You do not want them to feel left out, because they are the ones that's going to help the children in the mornings when they come in to settle down. There's so much shouting going on in classes. I was doing a thing in the public schools 2 years ago when I just came, and it's the same thing. Why do we need to shout at children to get them to calm down? You know, why do we have to need to have an aggressive attitude sometimes to get the children? I don't like shouting, so I have been very no. So this is the way they've been used to, and teaching them SEL, even though SEL is something the principal wants to incorporate, I have to develop a strategy where I go in very gradually, you know? So the first thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna work on the teachers indirectly. I am working, there is a gym office downstairs, but because we don't really use that gym office all the time, I only use it when I do gym. My main desk is in the art room, because I'm the main art teacher. My main thing is teaching the arts. I'm going to convert that to a lounge. So the teachers, when they're stressed out, can come there. So I'm going to work on them first fully to see that. And I already asked the principal to make me do this wellness program. I have the permission, official permission, because I already kind of started it. So I'm going to use the break that's coming up to design it. I already got one of the other admin staffs to start thinking with me how we're going to convert it. And I'm asking the universe to send me a couch. I have a universal supermarket palace. I don't know if I told you, whenever I want stuff, it comes to me.
Yes, you were mentioning that you were talking about money the other day in college.
Right. Yes. So yes. So hopefully someone will say, "Oh, I have a. By the way, I have a couch? Would anybody need a couch?" I'm like, "Yeah, I was just thinking of needing a couch. So send it on over." So that's why. So I'm going to do that. So when they understand the importance of, or when they see it, because sometimes we think we understand it until we experience it, and bring it to them, then they will understand. The children also need that level of comfort and understanding and relation and hearing and seeing as well.
Mhm.
Don't did I know I said a mouthful here, but did that make any sense to?
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah. Okay.
Why do you think the teachers they're not okay? Why do you think that they will not want to change in those ways? Or that's not the right question. I know it's an alternative way of approaching life, mindfulness, meditation, all of that. Why do you think that the teachers why do the teachers have resistance, I should say?
I just think it's change. as a quality system specialist, a quality manager, I've seen that all my life. You go into an environment, people, we naturally feel threatened when our comfort zone is shifted underneath us. This is what we know. This is what we are familiar with. We naturally feel threatened by new people coming into our space. This is my space. This is my classroom. You don't come and tell me what to do with my students. You know, like on Wednesday, the children got the opportunity to go outside because it was warm enough, but they chose to stay back after gym to talk about the issues that they were having. And then after the class, the teacher came to me, the homeroom teacher, and said, why wasn't all of my students outside? I'm like, because they chose to stay in and to talk. And she says, no, they have to be outside. It's recess. Why do they have to be outside? They should have a choice. And they're with a teacher who gives supervision. It's not like they were there by themselves.
Right.
They are not allowed to be anywhere in the compound without supervision. So this is the thing I am observing and stepping back to for me to develop an appropriate response. Because at the same time, I cannot let them bully me because I'm just an authoritative figure, just as they are. I'm a teacher. They've been there for over 10, 13 years. So they have laid claims to the children because I've already spoken about that to the principal, and that was her response. So now I have to take my time, how I'm going to bring that up to both the principal and to them and not make it sound like a complaint, you know? So doing that is two things I've already had with that particular teacher, because I have had the young student I'm working with is in her classroom, and she approached me and said that he must come to the class by 8 o'clock, even though assembly is at 8:15. He must come to the class at 8 o'clock. So she won't have it with him coming to me or staying with me. So that's 2 strikes. I don't believe in 3 strikes. When you give somebody 3 strikes or they give you 3 strikes, that is already a permanent impression that's already turned the relationship sour, you know? So 2 strikes for me, so I have to tread very, very, very lightly and she is a main teacher in the school. She can easily influence the others. Kathy is a troublemaker. Kathy come to disrupt things. Kathy is changing things. So I have to be careful. I have to be careful. I've always had issues with women everywhere I go. That's why I prefer men. So I prefer to work with men. Women are just too much. No offense.
I've been the same way. My circle of friends have always been guys. It's been in my later years that I'm like, okay, there are some cool women, and you guys are some of them, where I'm like, okay, let's do this.
Thank you.
Me too. I was a tomboy, but guy friends more than.
Yeah.
Yes.
I have to run off. I have parent teacher meetings, and I'm going to meet you at 12:30 my time. I have to be careful saying which time it is. So I am going to run off. Sometimes I tell my daughter's teachers, why do I really meet with you all? I talk to you all, I see you going on, and what you're going to tell me. She's a great student. She's a role model student, but they need it for their records. So I'm going to run off. And here's Siri's getting into my business. I wasn't talking to you, Siri. So I am logging off, and Dawn, nice meeting you.
Nice to meet you too.
And we will definitely do this again.
Yes,
bye.
all about you and your thoughts.
Okay. Yes. Bye-bye.
Cool. All right.
So if you're meeting with Kat at 12:30, she's on my time zone. You and I are supposed to meet at 1.
Yes.
Do you want to bump that up?
No, Kat and I'm just going to show her how to use StreamYard.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, because I need to make a couple people editors on our Facebook page. I'm thinking about that. Sorry, 1 second. I'm like writing a note.
Nope, it's all good.
Yeah, so she did what you call it, mini spotlight yesterday, but you don't see all the controls with that, obviously. So I'm just going to screen share how am I gonna do this? We'll Zoom. We'll Zoom and I'll screen share it for her so she can see everything. Okay, yeah, that's all we're doing. It's just StreamYard.
Okay.
Because she is wanting to start going live Saturday, actually. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So
Weekend warrior. Okay, good.
how are you moving? Are you putting everything in your car? Are you taking your couch?
No, I have a U-Haul that I'm getting and I'm attaching my car to it on a transport. And then the guy I've been dating for 2 months that I met online through a dating app or a dating site, he's actually coming down here from Dayton.
Oh,
He's driving through the night Thursday. And he suggested this like within our first month of dating. I didn't ask. He was like, how are you getting up here? I'm like, oh, I don't know. I'll just throw what I can in a U-Haul and trail my car behind me and drive. He's like, that breaks my heart to have you do that by yourself, because he's moved 18 times in his life. So he gets it.
that's
And
a
he's like,
lot.
would it be too weird for me to ask to come down and help you? And I was like, no. Of course, my ex was like, Rohan's dad was like, do a background check on him, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, oh yeah, I should. So I did, so he came up clean. And things have been going fine the past 2 months. So yeah, I'm still okay with it. So he's gonna get here like Friday morning on the 26th and drop off his rental car at the airport. I'll pick him up, we'll grab breakfast, grab the U-Haul, throw my car up on the trailer, get here, pack up everything, and
Head
take
out.
days to head to Dayton.
Wow. How many hours is it driving?
11 and a half, but
11.
we're going to split it between 2 days because I'm going to do all the driving. Since he'll have been driving for 11 and a half hours, Thursday night, I'll do all the driving. I don't mind, but it's only like 6 hours the first day and it'll be like 6 hours the next day.
Yeah,
And
that's not bad. The U-Haul will go slower than a car too.
exactly, especially carrying mine on the back of it. So 6 hours will really be like 7 or 8 with all my potty breaks and
Great.
and everything. So yep, but that's how it's going.
How do you feel about meeting him for the first time in person?
I am very excited. Our first date was 9 hours on Zoom.
Wow.
So we had like 3 first dates in our first date.
At least.
Yep. The second one was 7 hours. The third one was like 5 hours. And now we kind of average like 2 or 3 hours because his work schedule has gotten a little more full. But I'm excited. We'll just see where it goes. But he's dialed into the local spiritual community. He's pagan and Wiccan. And so he's already sent me an invite for an online version of the group he's in. So they have a directory and stuff like that. And they're opening a website up on the 22nd for people to be on it. So they're going to mail out, email people membership information and how much it costs. So, I'll be like, I'll see what it looks like, how much they cost.
Mhm.
What are they doing for us? Things like that. So he's definitely into getting me into the community because he watches all of my lives and everything. So he's funny.
Well, you should has he thought about coming over to the CLN maybe? Have you talked about that at all?
I invited him right when he and I first started dating, and I don't think he joined yet. But he doesn't, his schedule, he works third shift and he works 12-hour shifts.
Okay.
So literally, we're like last night, we didn't even get to talk, even though he had the day off, because when he works 4 days in a row, he sleeps all day and then works all night. So I think I'll bring it up to him again once he stops bringing in so much overtime for himself. But he's actually moving 3 days before I am. So he had to work extra hours to pay the extra rent that he's going to be paying after his move. So yeah, this month I haven't seen a whole lot of him.
Right.
But I did ask him, I gave him the link and everything when we first started dating. So I was like, oh, you're into the woo-woo stuff and blah, 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 blah. But yeah, once he and I are like in person and all that, and his schedule calms down a little bit to when I first met him, he worked 2 or 3 days at most in a row, and then he'd have 2 days off.
Got it.
So yeah, once he gets back on that and he can come up for air, yeah. So yep.
Well, I'll have to meet this guy sometime and give you my stamp of approval.
Right?
Just
His
joking.
name is him, but yeah, and who knows, you know, it'll go as far as it's meant to go and then it'll stop. That's like how my relationships go, you know, you ride it till its logical conclusion and then you move on. So
Yeah.
we'll see.
Yeah. Yay. Well, everything you said about him so far sounds really good.
Yeah. I mean, nobody's perfect and he has his faults, but the things that I've asked him to work on that bothered me, like hurt me in a way, like hurt my feelings, he's definitely put an effort to work on. He's like, I care about you and your feelings matter to me. So I'm going to try to do the best I can. I'm not perfect, but you know, I'll try to do what I can for you. And he was like, here's what you can do for me that bothers me. And I'm like, okay, great. And we're not like getting mad at each other. We're just like, here, if you could work on this, that'd be great. He's like, great, I will. And you can work on this. I'm like, great, I will. So it's always nice when you're playing with another adult.
Yes.
So
It makes all the difference in the world.
doesn't it ever? All right, so I have a meeting in 3 minutes.
Okay.
Today my Zoom meetings go 1, 2, 3, like boom, boom, boom. So I'm gonna hop off with her so I can get a meeting with you after that. So which
Sounds like a plan.
I'm excited about. So thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Yeah, so thank you for asking about everything. And I'll see you in like an hour.
Yes, ma'am. Very soon.
Bye.
Bye.